I take Revlon's ColorStay and I shear it out with MAC's Face and Body. This allows me to get a little bit more wear out of it, as well as making it look a little bit more natural. Using a color called Rule from MAC, we're just gonna go in and brighten the socket. Next, I go in with MAC's Chrome Yellow eyeshadow, and I bring that into the socket and up to the brow bone. This is gonna brighten everything and help it blend together. To make my eyeshadow stay, I use the MAC paint pot and lay in low just on top of the lid, because that's really the only place you need it. Not only does it keep it from creasing, but it makes it water resistant. Now that we based our eyeshadow with the paint pot, I go in with Gold Mine and pack it on the lid with a paddle brush. This is a firm brush that just allows you to collect color and deposit it like a finger would. Taking Gold Mine into the inner corner of the eye brightens it and makes it look more alive. Using that same fluffy brush, I take Gold Mine up into the brow bone just to blend the colors a little bit more. Now I take my fluffy brush and blend a few of my warm colors together to kind of come up with a pinkish mix to blend the yellow into the brow bone. I'm also bringing that up into the front of the brow just to kind of make things look more blended and a little more seamless. Also take that underneath the eye just to buff and blend things a little bit more. Now I brighten up the outer corners of the eye by putting a color called Amber Lights on the edges. After that, I go in with a deeper color called Antiqued from MAC and really give it more of a sultry look. Once you've deepened your socket and outer corners of the eye, I go in with Teddy Eye Khol and I bring that all along the water line. I even take it to the outside corners of the eye to give it a little bit of a cat look. Once we set this with a powder, it's not going to smudge around even though it is an eye kohl. After that, I like to take it into the upper edge of the eye, which tickles me like crazy, which is why I'm making a goofy face. I make goofy faces, whatever. Lip pencils actually make great eye smudgy tools. Using a lip pencil, I'm going in with Brun eyeshadow, which is just a matte dark brown, and really playing up the outer corner of my eye as well as setting Teddy in the process. Now using the same brush, I take the leftover product and I use it to blend my lash line in with my waterline. It's like I said, I really do like a lip brush for this job. So afterward, I take the lip brush, I put a little bit of black matte shadow in and just use that to deepen it a bit. Using the same technique as before, I take the carbon shadow and put a little bit, just a little bit, in the waterline. I'm a big believer in good brushes, but who says you can't get them in art stores? So I'm just taking a generic angle brush from Michaels and using that just very slightly to deepen it in the very closest corner to my lashes. Once that's set, you can go in with the same lip brush, add a little bit of carbon and smoke that liner out. With the same fluffy brush as before, take Antiqued eyeshadow and go over it and into the socket. Not too much or you'll wipe out what you just did. The same underneath. So now I've got a ton of eyeshadow on, which makes me feel like I need to deepen up my eyebrows a little bit more. I always start light. Earlier I used a pencil from Anastasia Brow called Ash Blonde. It's a wax-based pencil, so it doesn't hurt to go on and set it with the powder. However, it will give you more of a drawn-on look. So for this, I'm just using a light color from MAC called Omega, and then I'm gonna go in and deepen just the lower edge with a color called Brun. Your eyeshadows don't have to be expensive as long as they work. Keep them ashy and keep it light. No smoky eye is complete without tons of mascara. Use whichever you like. I'm going to draw my contour on with MAC's Cream Blush in a color I can't pronounce. I tend to get a little bit messy when I do this, so I like to go in and clean it up with my foundation brush. The truth of the matter is I probably shouldn't have used a brush so big initially to put the contouring on. Once that's all taken care of, I go in with NYX Cream Blush right on the apples of my cheek just to add a little bit of a glow. For this next step, you want to use a brush that's not too firmly packed so it'll go on and deposit the color a little bit more lightly and more airbrushed. I'm using Kevyn Aucoin's Sensual Skin Enhancer to color correct underneath my eyes and also highlight ever so lightly. The trick, however, to really highlighting is going in with a highlighter pen. Don't use too much product and try to keep it as far down and not right underneath your eyes as you can. The more you put it right underneath your eyes, the more it's going to settle into any fine lines and wrinkles. Using the same fluffy brush, you just take it and buff it down. Be careful when you're doing this to still keep that contour placement, not too high under the eye, right where the light would hit on your cheekbone. This is kind of my cleanup crew phase, where I just go in with the free-for-all, no extra product on the brush, and just kind of blend any additional edges. Now you'll notice that I've taken all the makeup off my chin because I like to rest my hand there. So what I do is I take Revlon ColorStay and just matte that down and kind of fix some of the edges that got a little bit gross. Another finishing touch I like to add is brightening the inner corner of the eye ever so slightly. Go in with a small brush and add a little more gold bind. For a nice summer look, go in with a light gloss in a kind of a corally shade with a little bit of shimmer as well. I'm mixing Pink Lemonade and Nymphette, but you can do this inexpensively with NYX's French Kiss. Or you can be like me and we can try the mega goth ending. So for this, I'm going in with Burgundy Liner all over. Then take Diva lipstick or any deep berry matte color you'd like, place that all over, and deepen up the corners with Nightmoth Liner. Now for this next part, I'm not married to any particular bronzer. To be honest, I don't even know what I used to do this. I think Refined Golden works just fine, but honestly, there are so many good ones on the market I hate to choose. Last, I'm just touching up a couple of edges with Studio Fix powder very lightly. Keep in mind Studio Fix is a foundation, not a setting powder. If you are happy with the coverage of the foundation, just go in with the setting powder. That'll also work just fine. If you're ultra fair like me, make sure you don't have blush sideburns. And after that, you're pretty much done. Voila! Thanks for watching.